Hey friends, and welcome back to another pantry meal video. Today I am whipping up some hamburger buns. I will leave the link for the recipe that I did follow, and I decided to add in some of that psyllium husk. That is one of my top items that I was trying to get used up. I didn't know how much to add, so I only used a tablespoon in this recipe, but I will leave exactly how I kind of changed the recipe down in the description as well as the original recipe. So these were really fun to make, and honestly, I'm going to be doing this recipe every time for buns now because they were absolutely delicious. I just gave them a nice egg wash, and then I did top them with white sesame seeds. For the actual patties themselves, I put in some breadcrumbs, an egg, some seasonings. I like to do garlic powder. For easy convenience, I always do a little bit of Man-Smith's and then parsley. And then I think I added black pepper, salt, and then I just whipped it up and I created some delicious patties. And then we just fried them on the stovetop. I also did fry up some onions that I had in the pantry and then a bell pepper that has been in my fridge ever since before the pantry challenge started. I had to salvage what I could of it. And then I just fried these patties up and we had amazing burgers. For the condiments and toppings, we did barbecue sauce, cowboy candy. I used a little bit of that newly made Dijon mustard that I made, ketchup, and then we topped the burgers with the onion bell pepper mixture, cheese, lettuce, and then I did have some avocado from in my fridge from when we did go to the grocery store the one time this month. I was allowing myself $25 a week on fresh produce for this challenge, but we tried as hard as possible not to go, but we did end up going once just for a few fresh items. And this was probably my absolute favorite meal during this whole pantry challenge. These burgers were absolutely amazing. The buns just really made it next level. So for the next day, we wanted to use up the rest of those hamburger buns, and we made breakfast breakfast sandwiches, and we did eggs, bacon, the rest of that avocado, and the rest of that onion bell pepper mix, and that was breakfast. Okay, and for lunch that day, we had just had two more buns left, so we decided to use them. And I had some leftover pulled pork from earlier in the pantry challenge, still in the fridge. I just added some more barbecue sauce to it, and we made pulled pork sandwiches with cheese, lettuce, and the meat. And that was lunch that day. Okay, so for dinner the next day, I had some baked beans in the pantry and I fried up some steaks. I used this chili onions seasoning on my vegetables. That was the first time I used it. And then I'm not really fond of these baked beans I did. I'm just definitely going to have to work on my recipe, making it better. So I do add a little bit of barbecue sauce to them to make them a little bit more tasty. But it was just a simple dinner that night. I ended up cooking up the steaks, and I'm not very good at making steaks, and they turned out okay. So that was dinner that night. Oh, and for dessert, my husband really wanted peanut butter cinnamon rolls, and so I ended up doing that bun recipe because it's such a fast recipe, and I kind of turned them into cinnamon rolls. And yeah, I mixed the peanut butter with the cinnamon sugar mixture, and they turned out really good. They were probably some of the biggest cinnamon rolls I've made. Okay, and then for dinner the next night, I was kind of feeling uninspired and I didn't really know what to make and I needed something easy. So I had some leftover beans in the refrigerator. I used a jar of my canned beef, just seasoned it with some Man Smiths, garlic powder, onion powder, and then I got some cheese and tortillas. And I just kind of made these like taquitos, but they were more like burrito taquitos because they were so big. And then I just basted them with some butter and I baked them. And it was just a really simple dinner that night. And then we had a lot of sauces in the refrigerator that were getting to the end, so we decided to use them up. And we used these 3 different sauces with our taquitos. And then I had a half a loaf of banana bread in the freezer, and we wanted something kind of sweet, so we ate most of this banana bread for dessert. Okay, and then the next night, which is the final night of February, I decided to make some spaghetti. It has been a very, very long time since I've had spaghetti, so this was actually sounding really, really good. And I just fried some sausage I had in the freezer. And then I was able to make some marinara sauce back in 2021. And I just let that kind of cook down. It's a little looser, kind of watery more, I guess you could say, marinara sauce. So I like to cook it down and let it thicken. And then I just boiled my pasta. And we just had a really simple dinner that night. Okay, so that is it for the January Pantry Challenge. Thank you guys so much for watching all of my videos and just being so encouraging. So I will not be continuing the January Pantry Challenge. There's just a lot of like canning projects I want to do this month and things that I need to buy for stuff like that. So of course I'll be bringing you along for all that, but I do want to continue cooking meals though. I think if you guys want that content, I'll probably do like 2 videos a month that are just like a few meals. I'll bring you just a few food inspirations, what I'm having for dinner or breakfast, or just something that's interesting that I'm kind of cooking up. So yeah, so this has been really fun, and it was actually really good for me to do this, just because like I think when I'm tired I tend to want to just have my husband bring something home for dinner, and I couldn't do that this month. And so it was really nice because we were able to use up like a lot of like things that I just freeze. Like after dinner, when I cook a meal, I'll like freeze the leftovers sometimes if I think we're not gonna get to it. And so I was able to eat up a lot of that. And my pantry isn't so much like depleted, but like my freezers are looking a little empty. So I do want to do a lot of canning projects this month, so that's why I will not be continuing the February Pantry Challenge, but look forward to those dinner videos coming out. And I'll probably do like 3 meals in a video, and so we'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.